So, with that being said, was it always easy, or did you have any struggles as you grew into business coaching and consulting and all of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I always tell people nothing that you see me doing has come easy, right? Like it's all been some work, but that's given me the insight and intuition to help others when they going through something and they feel like it's insurmountable. I can relate and I can empathize, so that even now as business is going, right, we've seen the climate change economically, and that impacts business. It impacts how you need to change your messaging and marketing, and you have to be able to pivot and kind of reinvent, how you say things. So there's always going to be challenges in business, right?
Introducing Community App. Community App is an all-in-one app that lets you easily create and promote any type of class in your local community. The login/sign-up page where you can sign up or login. Details that are needed for sign-up: name, email address, password, location, interest. You can select as many as possible: interest, boxing, workout, painting, jogging, and so on. After sign up, connect your Stripe account, or you can skip it and connect it later. Welcome to your dashboard. Things you can do from dashboard. You can create class, see class requests, switch theme, settings, check your earnings. Visit www.community.com to get started, or download the Community app from Google Play Store or App Store.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hello, everybody. I am so happy to be with you today with our today's featured guest, because whether you are looking to scale your business, build your brand, or navigate the ups and also the downs of entrepreneurship, today's guest, Jevon Wooden, is here to provide you with the support, honey, the insight, and the expertise you need to achieve your dreams and ultimately reach those goals. He is a man that has many different accolades. He also has MBAs, he has degrees, he has specialties in cybersecurity, as well as fighting for us on the front lines of Afghanistan. So let me just put it out here. Without further ado, let me just bring on Jevon, because listen, we definitely want to go ahead and get into this conversation. So welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, Dr. Ramsay. It's a pleasure being here.
Oh, no, the pleasure is all mine. And thank you also for your service, and thank you for all what you're doing. And when I think about that, you have experience in cybersecurity, that is something that I don't come across every single day. And so what made you decide to go in that field? Because right now we're seeing how important it is to have this cybersecurity implemented, even more so since we're so digital now.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you for your support. Couldn't do the military without you, so much appreciated to that. What got me into the field of cybersecurity was I joined the military as an IT specialist. And when I first joined, I told my recruiter, I said, I don't want anything that's going to get me coming out where I'm doing, dead end jobs, or I become a police officer and all that. And when I passed the test, they was like, you can have any job you want. So when I thought about that, I was like, you know what? I like computers, right? I couldn't afford one as a kid until later on, but I like computers. I know that that's the way the world is going, So I said, put me in, coach. Let me get that. And then as I've matured through the field, I noticed that everyone was talking about cybersecurity. right? I noticed every company was getting hacked, and I'm like, this is where the world is right now, and this is where warfare was going, was cyber. So I just put the two and two together, and I said, this is the direction I'm going.
You're absolutely right. And like I said, with everything going digital and pretty much got thrust into expediting that process when the world shut down, we saw how many gaps and still have some gaps within the security realm. So that's something that's not only going to be used in the now, but forever. So that was a very, very smart move on your part. But you're not only into cybersecurity, you decided to pursue a career in business coaching, consulting, and speaking. So what made you, I wouldn't say pivot, but I would say add on to your repertoire with going into a career of business coaching, consulting, and speaking?
Yeah, great question. So what made me just add on was the fact that, I noticed a lot of people struggle with getting to their best selves and designing a life and business they don't need a vacation from. So I was always interested in business. I read a lot, and it happens to be that business and entrepreneurship is the way to really unlock your financial freedom. So I said, you know what? Cybersecurity is great, but it's not my purpose. My purpose is helping others. So I put that together and I said, I'm gonna go get this MBA and I'm gonna learn a little bit about business from theory. And then I'm gonna take it a step further and put it into work. So I actually founded my company while I was deployed in Afghanistan in 2017. And it just moved forward. It was just a natural progression for me.
I love the fact that you said your passion, and that's the operative word when you said it's your passion, even though cyber security was, I would say, a segue into what you're doing now, but you realize, okay, that's a good skill. That's a good advantage that I have knowing that field, but this is what I am born to do, right, which is helping people navigate. So with that being said, was it always easy, or did you have any struggles as you grew into business coaching and consulting and all of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I always tell people nothing that you see me doing has come easy, right? Like it's all been some work, but that's given me the insight and intuition to help others when they going through something and they feel like it's insurmountable. I can relate and I can empathize. So that even now as business is going, right, we've seen the climate change economically, and that impacts business. It impacts how you need to change your messaging and marketing, and you have to be able to pivot and kind of reinvent how you say things. So there's always going to be challenges in business, right? And then having the resources required to do what you said you wanted to do when you set out initially. So I've pivoted a multitude of times in business. I've added on, I've taken away. It's just a matter of that resiliency and a matter of saying, this is my why. Why did I sign up for this in the first place? Remembering that and knowing that no matter what I have to do to get there, I'm willing to do what it takes.
I love it, because I feel that a great coach, a great consultant, a great speaker is made up of a person who has not only book knowledge, but most importantly, the experience to go with it, because it makes you personable. It makes you personal. And also, like you said, the insight that you gain from learning how to pivot, how to move, how to change your messaging through the change of the climate of the world actually help just push you forward in a different kind of way, making you an exceptional coach, because you just don't have the book knowledge. You have the real life, tangible experience, and you're still doing it. It's not like you're retired. You're still right. Some people will be coaching like, well, I did this in 1974. And I'm like, I'm glad you did it in 74, but honey, this is 2023 and this is a whole different market. So
absolutely.
Do you have any 2023 advice?
Right. Yeah, because things change, and especially when it comes to business moves at the speed of business. There's nothing like it, right? Especially if you're like a solopreneur or a service-based business, you have to understand that. You have to understand that whatever someone's talking about 2 years from now, that could be completely obsolete, right? Things change constantly. So we have to keep our ear to the street and we have to keep our eyes and ears open.
That is so true. And I'm just wondering, because you have this military background as well. So would you say with your military experience, did it shape your leadership and peak your performance skills to a different level? And did you apply any of the skills that you learned in the military to being a business person?
I apply it every day. Actually, the values that the military ingrained in me, that's what I use each and every day I operate, right? In the Army, we have something that spells leadership, actually. And it's loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And I implement all of those every single time I open my eyes, right? Until I go back to sleep.
Wow. Okay. So I'm just seeing, I love like going on the journey of a person, and I'm seeing how every little beacon, every little thing that you're doing kind of led to another thing, and how your previous skills actually help hone in and just expanding what you're doing today. So what would you consider to be the most crucial factor for achieving business growth or personal development? Because I know that you're you're honed in on mindset development. So
Absolutely.
What would you say would be one of the most crucial factors in us even achieving that kind of growth and keeping the right mind with it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most crucial thing is openness, right? Having an open mind, being willing to be open to serendipity. You know, the beautiful things can't occur if you're closed off to them, right? If you're not willing to go into that room, if you're not willing to step and talk to this person, you're not willing to make that call, if you're not willing to start the business, right? So you have to be willing to be open to what's going to take place, understanding that there are some things that we can control, but there are also some things that are out of our control, and being willing to accept that, right? I believe that as an entrepreneur, as a person, you know, willingness to adapt to change is absolutely critical if you're going to talk about sustained success.
I love that. And you're absolutely correct on that. And so I love that you even use the word serendipity. I like, hey, I like that. I don't hear that too often. I mean,
thank you.
But I love that. So I just love the fact how you explain it and how you're pulling all those things to help your clients excel in business. And I love that you include that facet of mental health, mindset development, which kind of goes into the same kind of genre, because we know right now with everything that we're dealing with the world's landscape, it's crucial that we have to implement some sort of mindset development, some sort of mental health, to make sure that as we have those pivots and ups and downs, we're able to mentally sustain ourselves through whatever it is. So I love the fact that you include that. But you know what? I have to take a commercial break for my sponsors. So when we come back, we're gonna come back with the amazing Jevon Wooden, and he's gonna share with us some more insight in regards to business and also share a little bit more about himself. So we will take this commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with a friend whom you might ask, the amazing Jevon. Let's put him back on the screen. Welcome back.
Thank you. Love the energy.
Yes. Okay. So that's what you get when you come on this show. We're not going to be boring over here. We're going to get that information, that knowledge. We're going to get motivated, but we're going to have some fun as well. So before the commercial break, we was actually discussing about the importance of mental health and mindset development and how you implement that within your strategies of business coaching and consulting for your clients. So would you say that is one of the things that kind of make you stand apart in regards to the way that you approach business coaching and consulting?
I mean, absolutely. I believe that, you know, all of the experiences that I've gone through really take my approach and makes it dynamic, because like, no matter what you're telling me, I'm going to be able to slow it down and be like, listen, you don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill. Or I can also see what you're not saying, right? I hear that because I'm able to take all the experiences that I've had personally and professionally and apply it to whoever my clients, their situation, their circumstances, to really support them, and not just support them and be a cheerleader, but support them, keep it real with them, and then also provide some insights and some valuable tips on how we can, really adjust and get that obstacle out of the way. So I feel like a lot of us don't really take advantage of the mindset component that we all own. Right, we're so inundated with negativity all the time, and I'm a big proponent of changing that. Right, saying, listen, for me to be operating at the optimal levels, my mindset has to be in the correct space. And I'm someone that operates with mental health issues that I face each day: PTSD, depression. It doesn't go away. So I have to decide to win every single day. And that's the type of mindset I want my clients to adopt and the listeners to adopt. Just understand that, you don't have to worry about doing amazing things every day. It's the small things. And that's where I think that a lot of us get caught up in, is we want that instant gratification, right? But having that growth mindset is more so about incremental changes and realizing that if we just work to be 1% better every day, no matter what we're doing, we're going to have exponential growth in returns.
I love that. And the fact that you are, and thank you for being so transparent with your journey dealing with mental health. I too, people look at me and think I'm happy all the time. I have depression sometimes. I'm not always happy all the time. Right. But like you said, for me personally, I know how important mindset development is. And so when I see individuals like yourself who put that in the forefront and also help people to see, hey, this is what you do on the low days. This is what you do when you're absolutely on cloud nine, and also how to implement and keep things going. And I love that motto that you just said about having that 1%, like you're just 1% better, because sometimes we put ourselves in unrealistic goals. Like, okay, it got to be 1,000% every day. Well, that's not realistic. Right. That's not realistic. So having something as small as 1% to reach for, you're going to automatically even hit that, or you're going to hit more because the bar is here. And so absolutely. I love that you mentioned that 1%, and that will help us too with our mental health, knowing that I'm 1% better than yesterday, so I'm still in the good.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things, thank you for saying that, that was appreciated. But that's one of the things that I speak often about in my book is, not being so hard on yourself, right? Realizing that we're humans. we're not going to be like crushing it every single moment of the day. And we also need to recharge. Right? Even if you're the highest performer, right? You're a David Goggins or somebody like that, you still have to rest and recharge, or else you're going to hit a wall and it's going to be really, really hard to come back, right, to that level, because you lose a piece of yourself when you do that, right? You push so hard, you're unforgiving of any mistakes that you make, you become robotic and you forget. You lose that joy for life. You lose that curiosity that we have. That's why I always tell my clients, like, hey, sometimes you got to be a kid, right? I don't care how professional you are. Sometimes you have to be a kid. And I say that because kids are curious, right? Kids remain curious. And when they fall, they don't dwell on it. They get right back up. And then when they touch something and it's hot, they're like, oh man, I just learned a lesson. They're not dwelling on it and saying, dang, I just messed up. This is the end of everything. No, they're saying, okay, I just learned a lesson. How do I apply it going forward? So I like to say, be a kid, right? Let yourself loose. Don't take yourself too seriously. Be curious, learn from the lessons. They're not lost. They're just lessons, because guess what? We each have that opportunity to move forward and become someone better than we were even a few seconds ago, each moment. So just don't take yourself too seriously. Relax, take a breath, right? And then, if you make a mistake, you just learn something.
I love that. Again, I mean, you just doing so many great things. Because I don't know what happens once we reach adulthood. It's like we think everything has to be 100% 24/7. And when you think about growing up, everything wasn't 100%. You didn't make 100 on every single test you made. It was just learning experiences. I don't know why once we reach adulthood, we start being overly like unrealistic with our expectations of our
society. Our societal pressures, it could come from your, someone told you that you had to be perfect, or you messed up one time and someone told you you were trash, you weren't good enough. These things stick with us. And that's why I believe that it's so important for, even if you feel like you're perfect, just to talk about it, just take one therapy session, see what comes of it, talk to someone, find a best friend or someone that you can just really just let it all hang out and just have those conversations, those candid conversations. And there's a concept I coined, it's called the 360 degrees of support. Right. In order for us to maximize what legacy we have by the time it's all said and done, and we're called back to whatever you believe in, we have to be able to be real. We have to be authentic. We can't say that I want to live the life that we see on social media. We can't act like we're perfect, right? We got to get in the dirty. We got to get in that nasty. We need to have somebody to talk to about it, right? We've all gone through some things and people deal with things differently. So surround yourself with people who are going to hold you accountable, who are going to inspire you, elevate you, right? Let you be your best self, but also people who are going to support you and not belittle you and denigrate you, right? So I believe there's 3 levels that we have to look at. First it starts with you. I don't count that. That's level 0. And then you got to look at that first level. The first level is your best friends, the people you are closest to, who you may have had those types of conversations with, or you want to, and that you can trust them on that level. And then we have that second level. The second level is people that are cool. They have their place. Maybe you hang out in certain situations with them, right? But you're not quite ready to have those conversations. Possibly they have a chance to move in that first level. And then you got your third level. I like to call them my virtual mentors. These are people you may not even know, but they inspire you in some type of way. Maybe they've said something that you live by. So just look at who that 360-degree support system is for you. And if you have some gaps, it's time to fill them so you can be real with yourself and keep ascending.
I love that. Okay. That is a great, for all of you who writing notes, taking notes and all that, you need to write that down and live by them 3 steps, that 360, that's great. I never heard it broken down like that. And that is very good, tangible things that we can do in the now that don't even cost us anything. Because many times individuals, they want mentorship, they want coaching, they want to be able to opt into a coaching course or class, or they might not be financially stable enough to do it. And so those are 3 things, 3 tips from Jevon that you can use in the interim until you be able to have the funds to be able to do what you need to do, because those three things don't cost you anything.
Absolutely.
They don't cost you a thing. And so that is great food for thought. And so when I think about what you do in your expertise, you also you're in marketing and sales and technology. So how do you implement that in your business? Because I'm curious. Why did you decide to name your business what you named it? Because that's very unique. And you tell me how the strategy behind the sales, the marketing, and the tech, because I know it's a part of it in some kind of way.
Yeah. Thank you. So Live Not Loathe, it represents the transformation, right? It's a transformation that I've gone through where I was loathing life. I was loathing my circumstances, right? I just couldn't stand it. It was like, man, it's worse than hate, really. It's like you just have this feeling of just despair. You don't enjoy it, right? So that's loathing to me. And I wanted to flip it around and say, instead of loving, I'm talking about living, right? Because if you love, you can live, right? And living is realizing you do have agency. You have some control over the things that matter. And the first thing that you can control is you, right? Your effort. So I decide that myself and anyone I work with or encounter, we are going to be a product of our effort and not our environment. And that's where the Live Not Loathe comes from. It's like, hey, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to start looking at things from a lens of gratitude, gratefulness, and growth so that I can go ahead and leave that legacy. I can make that impact. I can run that business, because it really all starts with the person. A lot of us are thinking that the business isn't going anywhere because maybe we don't have the right product or service. No, it's starting with you, especially if you're a solopreneur, a CEO, executive. You are still the person that is aligned with that business, right? Whether you're a person that's in one individual company or you have 1,000 employees, doesn't matter, right? So you have to live, not loathe, and that's why I named it that.
Love it, love it, love it. So on that note, we're going to take us a break, and we're going to come back with Live Not Loathe in a moment after we take this commercial break from our sponsors. See you in a moment.
Welcome to a unique dating experience unlike any other.
You gave the relationship all you had.
Wait, we have to share a bed?
Can your ex help you meet your next love?
I'm looking for somebody that's gonna make me laugh.
Do I have any low-lying feelings for Nicole? Maybe.
Sorry, I don't agree with their decision.
Are you afraid?
No, who you talking to?
Why are we here?
You should be.
After Happily Ever After, series premiere, Wednesday at 10 on BET.
Alula Life Greens actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer, and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy, and I absolutely love fitness. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a professional makeup artist. Eating healthy is not the easiest thing. We get so busy in our lives, it's really hard to take the time to eat healthy and to eat right. My absolute favorite thing about this product is that they combine reds, greens, and probiotics in one mix. You put it in your water and you shake it up and voila, it's so easy and it tastes amazing. You'll feel a difference. Then you start believing that you really can change and that you can actually feel better.
And we're back. Let's bring back on Jevon. We're so happy to have you back because you've been breaking down so many different gems on what we can do, not only from a business perspective, but most importantly from a personal, because people try to separate the two, but the truth of the matter is they're intertwined. And so the fact that you're able to bring all of those skills and your leadership, the mindset development all together in one place in regards to your business coaching and consulting. And I love the name that you chose, which is totally different from anyone else I have seen. I am really excited about the opportunities that you're offering your clients and also individuals that may be watching or hearing the show right now. So when in regards to your coaching and also your book, I heard you mention that you have a book. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, so the book is called Own Your Kingdom, How to Control Your Mindset So You Can Control Your Destiny. And I wrote that book in 2021. It was published September 2021. And as you know, we were coming out of, the pandemic and everything that was going on. And the topic of mindset, the topic of mental health really came up to the forefront. So I wrote this book as a timeless workbook. It's not just something you read. It's actually got exercises in it that I call out throughout the book, right? The first chapter is forgiving yourself, right? Forgiveness equals success. And then we move forward and you're just creating an action plan for that lasting success. So you can keep referring to it. It's one of those books you leave on your table. You just go back to it when you want to, you got to refresh yourself or you need a reminder. So it's can be purchased on my website, livenotloathe.com. And I have another book coming out. This one's more business oriented. So I'm just excited. I love to write. I love to share what I learned coming up in my journey.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you, everybody know that I'm a visual learner. So when I can show you, I'm going to show you. And so this is his amazing website where you can go and see, you can improve your performance, increase success, honey. And look at all these things that he have been able to accomplish. And also you can opt into his services that he has to provide and schedule your free consultation to find out where exactly you need your help, where you can start the focal point. And also, of course, those good old reviews from individuals who have experienced his service. And so check him out. Go to his website at livenotloathe.com. Yes.
Absolutely.
And so check it out on today. All right, you guys. And for those of you who looking at the screen right now, because we have people listening in and watching, here is the website that you can actually go to. And I encourage you to go on to it. It's a beautifully made website, which is very easy to navigate, which is very, very important. So, of course, you can't go over every facet of his website. So I want you guys to go there and check it out. And I also want you to share with us if you have anything that you're doing in the future, any like events, any courses, any things that you want us to opt in, that you want us to know about.
Absolutely. I'm gonna start with the $1 Million Marketing Summit. If you are a business owner, at the top of that website, livenotlow.com, you can opt into the $1 Million Marketing Summit. And it's 25 plus speakers that I got to speak to you about marketing and sales, really growing that business. On a personal level, that website also has a resources tab where you can download things like the top 6 actions you can take right now to achieve your goals. You can download my webinars where I talk about 3 secrets to achieve your success. There's a ton of free things on that website that you can go to. I just really want to impact you wherever you are in your journey.
Love it. Love it. So just make sure that you go to his website and check him out. Make sure that you not only check him out on his website, but stay in the know of what's going on with Jevon by following him on social media. He's on that good old LinkedIn. He on that good old Facebook and Instagram. And you can search him up by his unique business name and as well as his name as well. So make sure to check him out with Live Not Loathe. I love that, because most of the time we hear love in everything, but you need to live first.
You gotta live. Exactly. Absolutely.
You have to live. So is there anything that you would like to tell ones who may feel like they're on the outs? Maybe their business is not going the way that they want right now, or they don't have the support. What is one tip or one thing that you can say to them to keep them going?
Yeah, one thing to keep you going is remember that it's not about right now, right? It's about taking that journey and keep moving, right? One foot in front of the other. The most successful people you've seen have had so many trials and tribulations that you don't even know. So keep the work going, but take time to slow it down and analyze things, right? Analyze it from that high level perspective. Remove the internalization that we do, right? When we start saying, "Oh, it's our fault," remove that for a minute and just look at it from a perspective of third party, to see where you can start moving and you can start exercising some different things. Because a lot of times when we're in the fight, we can't understand, we can't see. And then find someone who's unbiased, right? Get that unbiased perspective to see maybe you're missing something. And that one piece of information can take you to another level, right? Don't listen to everything you hear on social media about, in 6 months, I made $1 million. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works, right? So make sure you're realizing that, right? Make sure you're listening to people who make sense, and make sure that you're also realizing that it's a marathon, not a sprint, like we always hear.
Awesome. Thank you for leaving us with that tip. And thank you so much for being a featured guest on the Tina Ramsay Show. We're so happy that you came and also just showed all this love, giving us all these tips, food for thought, in order to help us be more productive in 2023 and beyond. So thank you, Jevon, for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dr. Ramsay. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
No problem.
Really great experience on the Tina Ramsay Show. I felt like she really asked some valuable questions that can help a lot of people, especially in regards to monetizing. And so the vibe was great. I honestly wouldn't mind coming back on again if she invite me. And I felt like the conversation just flowed. So I am super happy, and I can't wait for the show to air on every single platform out there. And thank you again.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.